Everybody acting like they're turning into ashes. Really being honest, they're just missing out on passion. Everybody listen, we ain't rolling with the masters. I still pay a penny just to get this shit mastered.
What's the crack? You're watching the Labtv. I'm here at Outsider YP, and he's here to promote.
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Outsider YP. Thanks Labtv for having me.
Thanks for coming, man.
Hey, anytime, man. Anytime.
So tell us what you're here to promote and talk about.
So I want to talk about Sad Boy Ultra, which is like a EP I'm currently working on. It's basically finished, but I'm just kind of choosing the ordering and the right tracks to give you like a short and concise tape.
And we just got a little preview of it as well, and it's class, man. There's so much feeling in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, the last track, or the first track you showed us, it was talking about a hopeless thing, but giving it hope. Talking about suicide in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us the reason why behind you writing this whole thing?
Actually, for once, like I usually like take a lot of time writing. But for this tape, actually, I stepped away from writing. Like I did write like a ton, but I didn't actually use the lyrics I wrote. You know what I mean? Like I'd write so I know what I want to talk about, and then a lot of the tape is actually freestyles because I wanted to really showcase emotion. So like raw emotion is best served when it's on practice and it comes out. So it's a lot of like 2-4 a.m. recordings. Basically, what I wanted to convey is basically how it's okay for guys to be vulnerable. It's okay for guys to be, to not be the quote unquote breadwinner, to not be the, the one in charge, to not be the one that has to hold all the weight. It's okay for them to be, to feel like they're in pain, or to feel like they need help, and to feel like they don't have to always be in control of things.
Yeah, man, nice one for that. That's class. I'm in a similar place myself with writing. I'm trying to come at life from that angle too.
Yeah.
And especially now that we're living in a time where things are changing big time. We're just trying to find a balance. And I actually can't wait now to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end. And also knowing that message is in mind as well. Like I connect with it 100%. Like that's why I was able to pick up on the vibe of the feeling hope in a hopeless situation. Like,
Yeah.
I've been there myself, and I was like, damn, I get this. Like,
100%.
This is good. Like, and you know what? It's refreshing as well to see male artists come out and speak about these things as well.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons why I also I rap in it, but it's not as often as normal. I sing most of it, just because I felt like it portrays the emotion a bit more. And even the style approach, I wanted to kind of step away from what the conventional norms and what people expect from a rapper, what people expect from an artist in general, even people in general. And it's okay to kind of do other things and just like do what you feel at that moment. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't want to like grow with artists. They want to stay in that same bubble, which is perfectly okay. But like I said, I think there was a rapper that said it was like, if you want to listen to that, listen to my old stuff. But I think it's important to kind of move on and talk about different things. That's no problem. Talk about different things and portray different thoughts and different feelings. And my whole reason for being an artist is really to tell people stories and hope to people to raise awareness about certain things and certain aspects, including depression, suicide, the male ego, and the female energy and synergy as well.
Savage. So what's your interpretation of the male ego?
I think that the male ego, like it's really, it's tradition in a way, and it's social construct in a way. It's a variation of a bunch of things, and it does change depending on the culture and where and the context. However, I think it's that we have a lot of pressure, I think, from a very young age to be something or be somebody, to because we were supposed to be the people that take care of everybody else, and we're supposed to like not need nobody's help. And I think it's very draining to some of us, and to most of us, I think, actually, to have that much pressure from such a very young age. Like, don't cry. Why shouldn't boys cry? It's something that a lot of people say, like, so offhandedly, like, oh, boys shouldn't cry, or boys don't cry, or boys don't feel. but like, you know, boys feel just as much, but they just can't show it because that's how they were taught to be. And I think that's, you know, that's something I feel like should and can change, because when you bottle all that in, that's where, you know, things end up messed up later on in the future.
And talking about the female energy, then what's your interpretation of that?
So for me, female energy is just, you know, like females are usually signified with beauty, with sexuality and all that stuff. But for me, I think like female energy is like the power of the female mind, and, you know, and even showcasing the fact that, you know, female energy for me is like they can do the same things as men can do. Now obviously those like biological differences and those, you know, those certain differences, but I think that actually it makes it it diversifies the role rather than constrains them from set role, right? So I think that it's important for like females to get the shine that they deserve, you know what I mean? I feel like women, like, they're the reason why any of us are here, first of all. So I think that, like, you know, they deserve all the respect in the world, but I also don't feel like they need a man to like hold their hand through life. Yeah, I mean, I feel like independence, you know, I feel like I personally feel like they should be taught the same things. There shouldn't be this bias that a woman should do this, or this bias that a guy got to do this. And I think that people should have more freedom, like, and give, you know, kids more freedom to decide what they want to be, because I think it's better at the end of the day. A lot of people like are either in college or they're doing stuff because they want to make their parents happy, they want to make this person happy, but how many people actually doing stuff that, you know, is trying to make themselves happy? I don't think there's a lot of people doing that, because everybody's trying to please somebody or please something. And, you know, I feel like the female energy is fully recognized when a woman, or, you know, is allowed to be who she wants to be. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that I want to portray and showcase, that, yeah, you know, because I think that like female energy is phenomenal, and it's the same as the male ego when it's, you know, it's not perverted. Both of them is the same when they're not perverted, when it's not extreme.
Well, the masculine and the feminine energy was described to me the other day as masculine energy is like a rock. It's never changing and it's solid and it's in one place. Female energy is like the wind, ever changing, and you got to go with it. And what I was getting from it was in today's society, what's happening is we're trying to find the balance. Men are trying to grasp the idea of changing and flowing and being open.
Yeah, and women are trying to grasp the idea of being a rock.
Yeah,
100%.
But also, what something I read suggested was the only way we can achieve the balance is by falling in love with each other. No, I don't mean that in a romantic sense.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean as in really falling in love with each other.
Yeah, like fall in love with the masculine part of you and the feminine side of you.
Falling in love with yourself, like
100%.
allowing yourself. From my own learning and my own perspective, like I can only speak from my own experiences.
100%, yeah.
For me to ultimately love myself, I need to allow myself the understanding that I don't feel like I can do it every day.
Yeah.
And I need to be able to express that freely without judging myself.
Yeah, I think that's very important to do, because like, you know, sometimes it's like you're going through a lot of things and yet you feel like you have to like carry all the burden by yourself, and you feel like you can't share it, or you feel like, you know, you can't deal with you try to deal with it all by yourself. You know, a lot of people have a problem with expressing certain things, and that includes myself, and I'm still struggling with various things myself, and which I talk about in Sad Boy Ultra. But I feel like it's about, you know, opening up your mind and allowing yourself the space to grieve, the space to cry, the space to be happy, the space, you know, it's all about a balance. And, you know, that's why I think it's important to cry every now and then. You know what I mean? I cry every now and then. I don't know.
Me too, but
like some days like literally I wake up and like tears are falling down my eyes and I don't know what's going on, but I feel a hell of a lot better maybe later on in the day because I shed those tears. And I think it's important to do that.
You're dead right. I was in a circumstance there before. I was in in a circle of fellas, right? And you know yourself, you can feel who's cool with
certain things,
and who isn't, you know. And myself and one of the guys were just complimenting each other's hair, right? Because we'd similar hairstyles. But his
your hair is way good, by the way.
your hair is class as well. Like,
Shut up.
but I liked his better than mine because it looked a little cooler. You know,
Yeah.
it looked well put together and stuff. So I complimented him on it, and then he complimented me on it, and then we got into this whole talk of hairstyle, right?
Yeah.
But then this stereotypical
Guy.
was like, lads, there's no need to get gay about this.
Yeah.
You know, and
Me and the outside is actually a very interesting relationship because like a lot of us like we're not afraid to like even in front of anyone we're just like, oh man, you're so fresh, like we straight up compliment each other, call each other babe, handsome, whatever. Like there's no, it's because we're comfortable with our own skin and we're comfortable with our own sexuality. We're comfortable with ourselves, so we don't need to try to say, oh, this is not gay or no homo, none of that stuff. We don't do that. Like we say it, and it's like, oh, we joke around, we do whatever, and it's like, I think being comfortable around the people you surround yourself with is very important. A lot of people surround themselves with people they're not 100% comfortable with, but just because it's somebody they know, because I think you have to be able to not be afraid to distance yourself from somebody that you feel like is not good for your energy.
yeah, you're dead right as well. In that scenario, I made a joke and just kept talking about it anyway.
Yeah, you have to, man. Like,
because
just be,
I was like, I get this, I understand it. Like this, obviously it's a guy who isn't comfortable with feeling and stuff like that. Like, and this whole conversation about hair is making him feel a little bit feminine.
somehow.
And we're like, man, this doesn't matter. It's all good. Like, I was like, your hair is class too, mate. It's like,
compliment him too.
It's not, no. I mean, it wasn't like, but
It wasn't.
we just said it
It's
anyway.
trash, low key, loud, we play.
So like whatever, like. So right, but before we hit the road, right? Where can people find you?
So like right now, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people on Tumblr, but Tumblr is like my haven. That's where I express myself most of the time. Tumblr. I recently started YouTubing, so you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram as well. Outside of YP for all of them. I don't really use Facebook like that, but you can follow Outsiders Ent on Facebook, and you can follow Outsiders Ent on Instagram as well. And you can find me on Twitter. I just recently, I'm trying to get into Twitter. I'm not so good at it, but I'm trying. So yeah, you can find me on all those platforms, and hopefully the music video should be out by next month. And I'm planning to drop about 4 or 5 music videos this year at least, and maybe 3 EPs. So
Sweet, boy. We look forward to that. Like, and I want to plug your album on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Alone is Sin Alive.
It's class. I was listening to it today.
Shout out.
There's a lot of feeling in it, and great lyrics too. Like, and it's class. Like,
Yeah, follow me on Spotify. Outside of YP.
do it. It's decent, boy.
Excellent.
Local is mint. Go on, kid. Have you got a message for the people before we say goodbye?
I suppose my message is just be yourself, and and that's one thing I love about the internet is you can express yourself, and like there's always gonna be people against you, but there's always gonna be people that are with you. So you know what I mean. And I think once there's people with you, it's okay, and just don't be afraid to express yourself, even if sometimes the opinions are unpopular. I've had deep conversations with people that we disagreed on fundamental things, but the fact that we could have a conversation and discussion about it is very important. Instead of screaming at each other and saying you're wrong, you're right, we just talk about it and we try to understand each other's perspective. And I think understanding is very important as well. So just try to understand each other even when you disagree with them. Find out why they're like that, why they think like that, and explain yourself why you think how you think, and see if you can come to a common ground of some sort, or an understanding of each other. And I think you can at least tolerate each other more if you have an understanding.
That's decent. Be kind, decent cuz. Open your mind, decent cuz. Live your life, have a decent buzz. Oh yeah, freestyle's class. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and tell all your friends. Check everything out. Support local. Local is mid. Outsider YP in the house, rocking the cool hair,
Labtv.
rocking the decent socks as well. Go on, kid. Yeah, kid.
Yellow socks.
And I got the red shoes back. Yeah. You're all class. Thank you, everybody. Tell them.